Hey everybody, my name is Aaron Schey, and we were here last night celebrating Glass 51 grand opening. It's been an amazing week. We started on Sunday with the first ever artist gala at the Axiom Glass Blowing facility around the corner across the street. And the next day we had our Blowing by Raven Sky River auction, and we had tours and parties. I'm gonna go to bed right here. It was an amazing event, and I'm so glad that many of you had a chance to join us. And those who didn't, you're always welcome next year. But I would plan a visit. Come visit me and see this show. You're going to hear people raving about it. If you've been on Facebook or social media, you've seen pictures of everybody having a great time. It's great having many of our members of our Habitat family here joining us. So today, I'm going to skip right to it. We're going to go and take a tour of the space. I'm going to show you room by room what it looks like on the ground floor through the entire exhibition. There's more upstairs that I didn't have a chance to film. There's a secondary show by Raven Skyriver and Kelly Odell that will not be included, but will be included later in an email, as well as the Blown Away exhibition starring Minnie England, John Sharvin, and John Moran. So many artists were in town. Thurman Statham was even here. I saw Dan Clayman in town. People that weren't even international because they were busy or had other options in their lives, but they were in town for gas or just to celebrate, and it was a lot of fun. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to take over your screens and start sharing my secondary screen. And you should see a nice, beautiful Michael Taylor. So we'll peruse around the space, and I'll talk a little bit about each artist. Bird, you're obviously welcome to join in. Bird has seen the show because he was here yesterday. And we're probably going to be moving the International back to the location it was the year before. So pencil us in your schedules in late April of 2024. So further ado, let's roll. So right by the front door, we had artist Michael Taylor. It was incredible to show Michael. Him and Debbie, his wife, were in town for the exhibition. He made these beautiful stands that go with the pieces, and he has a couple other sculptures. Corey's concept for the show was to bring more out so people can see more, which was a fun idea. We just needed more lights. Nora Viviano's work, we have a partnership with the Heller Gallery to offer this work. It's come so far from where I've seen it, dealing with population density, and this is obviously Chicago. Just incredible pieces by the artist and a Michigan native. One of the hardest working social media men online, Alex Bernstein, creating these wonderful sculptures, reflecting the mirror and reflection of the work, kind of as if with the way Craig Kellenberger worked in the day, but Alex has taken his own technique, mixing the metal and the glass, and he was here for the weekend. It was absolutely incredible. So he had a good amount of pieces on display, and we had a few sales. Honored to see him in town as well. This work is done by Andrew Madman. He's the guy that we partnered with to use his glass studio across the street, and wanted to give him a shout out. Mark Laputa was in town. Great to see him and his incredible creations. We sold a piece of his, and he received an award. So I'm happy because we had a solo exhibition in Florida, and the work looks much better on white than it did in the Florida show when it was on black. Michigan native, we flew right by him. Herb Babcock, he was here giving a talk recently, and he was on the news, coming getting interviewed. And Zora Polova's work, just incredible sculptures. Sorry we're flying through this, but I had to record it all before this talk today. But if, I can always play it again for you. But Zora was here with her husband Stefan Paula, just incredible. Artist Martin Blank, huge chandelier, multiple hot work sculptures. Great to have them in the exhibition along with Vivian Wang. So we have a few rooms in the gallery, as you probably already know. Okay. So we're going to be going through a few of them, which you'll have a chance to see a lot. Winnie Testamacher, great to have her in the exhibition. We have more works of hers in storage. We wanted to make sure she was included in the exhibition. And artist Deanna Clayton was here. We took her glass class. If you haven't done it, you really need to. You create your own pate vert piece, and it's a lot of fun. I did it with my wife when she was here for the opening, and before the opening, it's a lot of fun to create my own piece. I'll show. It says Mr. Glass on it. I'll show you guys once it's done. Demetria was here, the president of AACG. She had a couple sales, and we're grateful to have her in her show. And she made these new whimsical leaf wall pieces that her and her husband Dean took a long time to install, but man, they were absolutely incredible once they were up on the wall. I think we sold one of them, or they're trying to make sure one fits in place. But absolutely incredible works by Demetria and Dean. I think it was a collaboration piece, right? Oh, not too dizzy here, and we fly over to Sybil Peretti. She came in town. Our husband gave a talk at the gas conference, got a chance to see them. Just beautiful, wonderful works by Sybil. And it's interesting how during gas, There were so many different locations, and people were going the wrong place all the time. And they would always call me. Isabel was one of them. She was going to a different gallery, and I had to tell the correct direction to go. Oh, yeah, another beautiful work by Zora Polova. And we kind of dedicated the rest of this room to artist Christina Bothwell. Just her works look incredible on white. We had this white room dedicated to her. Each work is just magical and tying into the idea of mother and home. Many of you have seen Christina's work in person, and they're just so moving. And this is one of my favorites right here in the show. So I'll get a close up for you to see it. Beautiful work by Christina. So let's skedaddle around, and it's like I paused it and pressed play. Good move, Aaron. Good editing. Latches and Voyages collection. Just a wonderful collection of his work. I'm a huge fan. He was here with his wife for the exhibition. Wonderful pieces by, beautiful color by Latches on. Rob Stern. It's first time showing Rob Stern in the exhibition. He had these incredible stilettos, each uniquely made. I'm trying to find out if they're sold individually, the whole set, if I have someone who wants the individual shoes. But great to have him in the exhibition. He left me a hat too. I plan on putting on sometime soon if it fits my head, but it was great to have him in the show. We've done really well with Michael Rogers' work. These cast glass boats, kind of reminiscent of Bertha Valine, but colorful and probably more in different casting process. Hiroshi Amano was here with his wife. It's always great to see them. It's been a while since we had a chance to see Hiroshi pre-pandemic, and it was great to see him and give him such a great collection of installations in the gallery. So my first time showing Tom Schoon in the gallery, a chance to meet him. He's a great guy, very, very nice. What a legacy. And they're really, really excellent examples of his work. And he won an award too, Award of Excellence from one of the judges I'll go into in a minute. Sidney Hutter, what color you like? He's been a great tactician, making wonderful sculptures for so long. And each work is uniquely made, and we have a great variety, which is a rare occurrence for Sidney Hutter. I'll go into the judges real quick. One of them was Tracy Glab, who was the director of Flint Institute of Arts, or is, as well as we had Charles Shepard from the Portland Museum of Art, and the founder of the Imagine Museum came in, Trish Duggan, and she was our third judge. Honored to have all of them, and they made some incredible selections for the weekend. John Littleton and Kate Vogel, big shout out to them. They've done really well. They sold, I think, 2 of the small pieces at the show already, and they also received an award. So they also helped me organize the buses coming from Detroit for our weekend. So I'm super grateful to them, and they're great people. Another artist that's new to the gallery, we showed her last year, is Kimberly Thomas, making work about life and about issues in life. One of those topical artists that we started working with. This particular work is about invented machines. This is a cloud flying machine. This clouds fly this stuff, lamp worker. She's part of the gas board. It was great to have her in town and someone on the edge of the community. Matthew Curtis, Australian artist, great to have him. Great variety of work. We've done very well with Matthew Curtis over the years and wanted to make sure he had a great space set up in this room. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, yeah, both Julie and Robin Rogers were here. They're at the Chrysler Museum right now, and they have taught so many artists. They did a demonstration when they were in town here that was posted on gasdetroit.com. It was just a lot of fun to see them, and we have sold 2 of their pieces at the show, so they were ecstatic to come to the show. This is one of them that we sold. Beautiful little rabbit mother holding its baby. Just love the narrative of their work. They're very fun. Robert Bender on top, used to make children's books, and that piece as well as Emily Williams making the coral work, and then on the bottom, Kate Rhodes. All right, we jumped into the next room. We're flying here, people. Hope you're enjoying this tour. Aiken Davids and Aiken and Josh Davids, they're making some incredible pieces that are blown and carved. If you haven't seen their work in person, they make some, the detail in their work and the different coloring is absolutely astounding. And we've done very well. And these works are easy to move. They're quite light. And they're reminiscent to me like Musler's work, but in their own style and idiom. Next, we have Joe Ivacek. He was here for the weekend. Great to see his work. Really identifiable to young people, especially those who dealt in street art, which is where he came from in his youth. And he sold the individual cans as well as these unique pieces, and we're big fans of him and his message. Lucio Bavaca was in town. I didn't see him at the gallery, but he might have been there yesterday. Did you see him, Bird? You did?
Yeah, he was there.
Good. I'm glad he got a chance to come see. So he made sure to put some pieces out for Lucio. Longtime friend of the gallery, making some incredible things. And he was doing a demonstration, I think, downstairs or down to Detroit with Albert Young. I wish my phone could catch the detail on these better, but you know how phones work and they work so well. And the hotspots on phones are always difficult. So we're working on our videography here at Habatat. Stephanie Trenchard, we've done really well. This is her, gonna zoom in here real quick. The selfie series piece that we have, they've been really popular with those. And this one she just finished right before the show. So it's great to have her. Let's maximize the screen. Here we go. Medusa. Called Medusa Takes Her Power Back. Big sculpture, multiple pieces that stack. I see she won an award. She does individual figures as well as different bodies of work representing artists. David Patchen. He's a master of color, working with different colors that usually don't go together, creating the somewhat simple forms, but they are just absolutely exquisite. And if you talk to another artist of how he does these work, they can't grasp the amount of different colors he makes magically work together. Tolan Sand, he's making the best work of his career, I think, right now. I'm a big fan of his. He won an award as well. They're just absolutely stunning. They're priced really well, and he has these beautiful OLED pieces, which according to him is the shape of the universe. And there's a lot of people who work in the same style as him, but I won't name names, but I think these OLED pieces are just absolutely incredible and probably the best I've seen. And of course, they have that concept where they must always spin. So that's free. Comes free. And we had Robert Mickelson, a big part of the functional pipe community. A lot of people were in town for the Michigan Glass Project, was still going on today. And he wanted to show some pipes with us. I said, sure, send them along. It's fun to see these things in creation in real life. They're priced reasonable compared to the artwork we have in our gallery, but they're on the same kind of level. Just they have a lot of the figurativeness to them. Oh yeah, this is Hannah Gibson. She's usually on our Zooms. Incredible works by her. These Lego people love them. They're different colors. They're very fun. We have more of them, but we took away some of the small stuff during the show. This is our friend James LeBold. He was in town also with his wife. He sold that red piece to the Imagine Museum, so he is insanely stoked to be part of that institution, have work now in a formal museum. All right, so that kicks the first video out. Let's see. And I got for a second video. Give me a second. All right, so now we're at Elliot Walker. Many of you know him from season 2 of Blown Away. Another award winner. First time showing him, and man, these are just incredible sculptures. They have that Beth Littman kind of feel, but they're way different, and they have this eerie glow, and it's just something that caught up a lot of attention during our glass week, incorporating animals and different sea-like creatures. All right, next room we are visiting Robert Kamplage from Austria. Beautiful fused works, multiple colors fused together, and we do rather well with his work because they can go almost anywhere as long as it's a surface, preferably in front of a window. Marlena Rose, the hardest working woman in the glass business, I would definitely say, making these sandcast sculptures. She gave us 2 incredible pieces, very large sculptures for the exhibition, along with some fun Buddha heads that we put on display. I got a chance to meet Heike Bratschlau over the weekend. She gave a talk that I have recorded. We'll have a chance to put up online about her and her work. Never met her before, but these works are actually kinetic. You can rock them and they go back into place. So as long as they don't fall off the table, Corey did it right in front of me and my heart almost popped out of my chest. He took the blue piece and started swinging it. I'm like, oh my God, but it's exactly designed to do that. It's part of her whole aesthetic, and she has done bigger pieces too in the past. Our first time showing Tobias Moll, and already a red dot on a piece. We're honored to have him, award winner. First time showing his work here at the gallery, and hope to show more in the future. Artist Lucy Lyon, we have 3 giant masterpieces by her. So each one of you have to buy one for your bedroom. Just give me a call. Top of her field, absolutely detailed works, just absolutely stunning. And then we have 2 medium pieces, I believe. Another big piece right here, Street, I think that one's called. This one sold during the show. It's a brand new piece with the girl with the dogs. And this work is still available, which is one of my favorites. Stephen Powell. I think the Powell family actually drove them in right the day before the show. and dropped off 3 pieces, which is great to have. We have Jen Blazina who's in the video. Hi, Jen. Good to see you. We have her work here. Great installation on 2 different locations. And the detail in the frames is just incredible. I'll show you in a minute when I took a video of the other piece. Davide Salvadori, he was here for the event. He gave a talk. It was so much fun to hear him talk and speak about his work. And when people asked questions during the talk about him, he answered in yes or no format. Yes, no, yes. It was really fun. But he did talk about the fuel costs in Murano and in Europe. They are insane. Things that would cost $7,000 in 2019 cost $70,000 now, just to keep the gas going to the furnaces. So they're shrinking and shrinking right now in Milan and Murano and probably around Europe. Wilfred Grutens was in town for the event. It was great to see him. Beautiful, beautiful pieces by our friend Willie, and these really draw the crowds in. I always tell people, if you're gonna dive into glass, check out Willie's work right away, because they have that relatable shape. But I mean, I zoomed in on this one a little bit just to give you an idea. Just the magic inside is incredible. And then you get to work like this. Look at this masterpiece by Kathy Mulcahy. Multiple tones. It's like it's 3 pieces in one in my perspective, and just museum quality all the way. But if you don't have room for the big one, there's room for a tiny one or a medium size. And she's just as heavily inspired by water and rain. Moving through the show, Leah Wingfield was in town. Great to talk to her. We went through all her work in the gallery and had a chance to review everything when she was here. And we had some of her new pieces too from the newest series that you'll see in a second. She has quite the variety of work from her past, and these are the new pieces. Very beautiful and impressive works by Leah. You have to see them in person. The videos don't do them justice at all. Our local longtime Habatat family member, Albert Young, he was part of the gas conference, and they used his studio consistently down there for demonstration, along with Andrew Madvids on the 5th floor. Great to have him in the show. And then our old friend Levinsky and Yaroslava Braktova, as well as, okay, I lost the name here. I think it's Lewis. The new pieces that are colorful are new to me. And then obviously Vladimir Kumpar in the back. But fun stuff everywhere in the gallery, including this giant Martin Blank bronze piece. Here's the other piece that I was talking about, Jen Blazina. You see the details in the frames, the matchbox cars, the flowers, the wings, just incredible detail. So you have to see these in person, and they're very beautiful. All right, and I mentioned that Zora Palova was in town, so was Stefan Paula. It was great to see him here. Gave him a great collection of work, and we have more of his work and Zora's in our vault, I believe. Richard Jolly was here with Tommy Rush. Great to see them both. Good. This is his newest work, just showing this bubbleized texture on the outside of his sculpture. Great to see Richard here and his wife Tommy, and a little variety of life forms in his nature-esque pieces. Other side of the wall is Jen Blazina. She was here, and she stood by her pieces all night long yesterday during the show, and I gave her a handshake to say good job. And obviously our friend Lino Tagliapietro, we started showing his work in the gallery. Absolute masterpieces. We've been doing really well with Lino since we started showing him. So it's an honor, true honor. Brent Keyung blew everybody away with his installation of multiple pieces. Most of these came from our inventory that we had in our vault, but they were new as of recently. But this ladder was brand new for the show. Look at that thing. It's like, I think it's like 72 inches tall. It's 2 parts that come together to create it, but just impressive work by our friend Brent Keyung. He's making only masterpieces now. Did our very first edition, which was the chair, I think a while ago, maybe 2018. But I asked him to do another one right now. He's going to only do incredible pieces. I said, okay, what can I do? All right, here we go. Last round. Every time my phone rings, it stops filming. That's why there's multiple videos here. Steve Lynn. Yeah, this piece is in honor of Antasui, El Antasui, who was a sculptor, and I think it's in, just look at the size, look at the scale that he created. Beautiful work, and it's the first time it's really been fully assembled is at our gallery. This was called Ouija. It's about a photographer that used to photograph crime scenes. Honor of him and his legacy to the media. Many of you know our friend Peter Bremers. He was in town as well. If I get my finger out of the frame here. Look at that installation. Look at these masterpieces. All together in the show. And we sold the clear, smaller piece in the front. But this work is just unbelievable. It's making the best work of his career as well. And this blue piece you're going to see here in a second just came in for the show. I just love the color and tone, the depth, and the bubbles. Beautiful. Along with this tall freestanding piece. The camera gets a little yellow here. I'm not sure why it gets a little yellow, but it will fix itself sooner than later. We sold this Laura Donifer piece to a museum, which will be announced soon. I don't want to spoil it. But this is a rare chance to get a Laura Donifer. We have 4 available. We haven't had any available for a long time at this scale. So if there's one you like, you want to see photos of, let me know. She was here for the show, and today she's giving a lecture on the glass fashion show at GAS. So I'm hoping we'll have a chance to see that in the future online. Richard Royal, wonderful collection of his work that Corey put together. Beautiful, I love this piece a lot. And then a newer artist that we showed for the first time, I think last year, Carrie Side. These are magical pieces that they're made with metal paint plexiglass, believe it or not. And they hang on your wall. They're quite light, which I like. But each piece is made uniquely and have just a beautiful vision inside each one. And they slightly change as you walk around. Big fan of hers. We've done really well with her work. Oh, yep, this is John Moran's Teddy Bear series. He made a bunch of these. I don't quite know where he made them. But each piece is about losing a piece of your childhood. That's what the bears are all about. So Corey kind of assembled them as a conversation. But that one's the best one by far. We cut some of these out for people to take photos with. We had art on a stick outside, and that was one of them. That bear was kind of fun during the weekend or yesterday. Oh, yeah, Michael Janis. I love that piece on the blue on the left. It's just absolutely stunning. And then incorporation of a little video. This is part of our show in Florida. New work, brand new right here. And the other one's brand new from Michael Janis. I just love the eyes in this piece. Scrolling along, this is a 3D piece, something brand new from Michael for this show, and it was on the postcard. We started promoting the show. Oh, we had Dean Allison was here with his wife, and this is he works way too hard to make his pieces, and this thing is just beautiful. It's a little girl sitting in the sand. Little crab comes with it. Beautiful work by Dean. Freestanding figure by Dean of little girl standing in maybe the snow or the water, and then obviously someone hanging out with sunglasses on. Wonderful works by Dean. People are walking around the gallery, of course, as I'm filming. It's great to have people there. Michael Behrens was in for the weekend. He had a chance to hang out with his Habitat family. It's been a little bit. It's great to see him. We have a great installation of his works. I think we sold a couple of them, which is great to see. And we incorporated the back this year in the International just to make sure everybody was included and because we had the space. And so Susan Taylor Glasgow had a nice installation. Usually in the past, we do like 2 to 3 works per artist, but this case was a lot more. And we actually ran out of lights for the show, and we had to steal all the lights for the auction and then bring them back and put them back in the show, which hopefully will never, ever, ever happen again. I love that swan by Schey. That one was brand new. The larger swan, the drops and the reflection. Great. She was supposed to come to the International. She didn't make it this year. Hopefully we'll see her at another event real soon. More work by Dimitri. This is her solo work. Which you can check out.
If it starts freezing again.
So, and then Jack Schmidt, of course, a wonderful collection of his pieces. He couldn't be here. Another piece of Shelley's. And we'll head into the back. This is Jeffrey Boughton. He's new for the International. We had his NGG last Saturday. Great to see his pieces in person and talk to him. He's a very passionate guy. You got to talk to him in person, learn about his work. A giant piece by Albert Paley, then a dedicated space to Jenny Pullman, Sabrina Knowles. Wow, look at those spears. I love this piece. Nobody buy this piece. This piece is for me. Someday I'll buy it. Nobody buy it. And then a beautiful face mask. And then we go to Peter Hora. And then Javier Gomez sent us 2 masterpieces by him. Just absolutely colorful and laminated piece. Thomas Brazone, some new work by Thomas Brazone. And then I have some more sculptures by Gomez. Very fun and colorful work. He's making some amazing pieces as well. Try to get the full screen going on. And Peter Hora. We have more work by Peter coming in, but we had to use what we have for now. We're looking forward to more work arriving. Skipping ahead to Peter Borkovics, another master of the material. I don't know how he makes these works. I've asked him multiple times, but he can't really describe it. So I just love seeing him. And Manis Cookie, he has more work in the gallery upstairs. Fumio was in town for the gas conference, giving a talk about his casting process, in which he casts into gold leaf directly. That's why it gets that aged kind of esque feeling. Most people add gold leaf after the casting, it's part of his process. IRDS, 2 works, and then Margie Tote's new piece, which I just saw for the first time in this video. That little lion is just beautiful. And Gugelsberg and Baldwin, great people as well. Under Jacob, we have a few works on display. I think this is a Lesso. We'll go back to Jacob. I think I kind of noticed they were all in a row here. Beautiful works. I can't tell. I did talk with him recently, described his process. I still quite didn't get it, but we've done really well with the work. The Czech artist. I think those are Lesso as well, all down there on the ground, on the bottom of the cabinet. Then, of course, Nancy Callan, making sure we have her represented in the show. On the way out, well, close to out, we got Jivacek shield pieces. Powerful pieces, very topical about today. Thor Bueno and Jennifer Bueno. And then they scroll around to Tomas Havichka. Sorry for the glare, light in the air, but making sure we incorporate. Tomas just had his 30-year retrospective last year. I think that might be a Holska as well. These are all Holskas, and these are really great. They need to be on a white shelf, but the coloring in these Holskas are just incredible. I expect all those to sell real quick. Josh Simpson was in town. It was great to see him at his giant Horning paperweight on display. It's massive, absolutely massive. And a little more variety of the work. Want to make sure Josh was incorporated and because he was coming to town for gas. And then more Helvichka works. Just wonderful, beautiful things. Peter Borkovic sent in these 2 works, or at least that work right there. It might have been the other one too, for the show. We've been doing really well with Peter Borkovic's work. We're providing turntables too. This is another Peter Borkovic's piece. Incredible talent, really nice artist as well, person as well. Got to incorporate Bertel Valine, can't ever show it up. Showing Valine's work. True honor to represent him in our gallery. And then our friend from Australia, Noel Hart. Every piece represents a reference to some kind of bird in the wild. And you can kind of see it. This Albert Paley hasn't moved in I don't know how long, but it's in the show because it's a big, heavy piece. It's incredible. And then another Dimitra and Dean piece. And a giant Thor and Jennifer Bueno installation. Very peaceful. And another one, Peaceful Works. The Carrie side they obviously put there in the show. And David Reeke's Fun People hanging out, very comedic, very fun work. He's a great art guy as well. And long-time Habatat family member, David Hutchhausen. Couldn't make it this year to the show. We missed him, but we represented him as well. And I think this piece on the end, you'll see in a second, just arrived, is massive bubble chamber, memory chamber. It's just mind-blowing. Look at the color bouncing off it. And Richard Whiteley down at the floor. So I did my best to do a quick walkthrough of the space just to give you an idea what is up on display in the show. It is 10,000 times more impressive in person by far. And I advise everybody to come in the next month or 2, call me up, plan a visit, come see me up here. It's worth the trip to see the show. In that room is a show by Katrina Weintraub. I didn't have a chance to go in because I had to get this online, but I'll incorporate a video tour of that as well soon. But come and see that's the end of the video. But I want to show you some pictures before you go of the weekend, just because I can. And I have you closed captioned in front of me. So let me zip over here and see what I can do. So I'll give you a glimpse of some of the good times. Starting with, let me see where I start. I'll start with this. Here we go. So we're all hanging out together at the party. It was great to see everybody. This is at Corey's recently renovated house. You can see there's Nick Mount showing up with Pauline Mount and Ferd and some of the artists and some of our clients. It was great to have everybody stop by and it was Corey had 3 floors of space and man, we really filled it up and everybody really had an enjoyable time. The food the whole weekend was incredible. I give Debbie full credit for everything for the weekend that went right. It is all Debbie Clayson, and we're grateful to have her in our Habatat family handling the buses, the food, the help, all the details. And without her, you would have hot dogs and you couldn't get home. So I'm grateful for her to be part of our job. Davide was there and Lucy Lyon. This is on the far left is Dean Allison's wife and John Villette. And then you can see people around during the weekend. And then obviously there's our artist gala mug. Thank you for posing so well, Peter. We gave those away during our first event at the Axiom Studio celebrating the weekend. So hope you all have one. Now we got some extras.
Can you turn it down a little?
Why?
I don't know. I'm watching something. And
Emmett's watching.
I kind of walked around, took a little bit of fun selfie time when I was here. Making sure everybody's muted here, and got to see some of the great members of our family. I always try to do this once in a while to freeze time, if we say. This is Jeffrey Boughton. Great to have him join us for the weekend. I'm going to see if we got all of us hanging out. Just kind of running through concepts of photos. Sorry, too many selfies. I get it, but I'll keep rolling through them. Met some new people along the way, and Richard and Deanna Clayton, and also Peter Bremers and some of our clients hanging out, having a great time. Joe Ivacek, people all know each other. Jane Buckman in the background. And then there was a fire pit. The artists were hanging around, talking and having such an amusing time. On the left side is some of the blown away people. We have John Sharvin and Minnie England, and that's Bree Chesler. And the gentleman in the dotted shirt is Andrew Madvin, who has a glass blowing facility across the street. And then Kate Vogel was along with Deanna Clayton. I'll kind of keep flying through these a bit because they're just kind of visuals of the times we get together. It's so rare in the past, and we're hopefully going to have more times to do this in the future here and around. But Raven Skyver over there as well, and Laura taking a drink, Deanna and I, and then the great photo of the night. Everybody staying downstairs in Corey's house. That was a lot of fun. Let's see what else I got. Oh, it's the picture of peace. Oh, these are kind of fun. Bindu, one of the artists that works with Robert Mickelson, showed up with some pieces that turn and the marbles move around the piece. We had one in the gallery years ago. We have two more, so those are my inventory shots. I just threw them in for fun to make sure I wouldn't lose them. We'll continue on. So we went to the gas opening party, which was outside the DAA. And many of you know in the news, it's been a little bit hard to breathe in the area due to the forest fires in Canada. But we made it the best possible way. The Corning glass blowing facility was against the wall past the tents, and we got there a little late, and man, was it packed. It was so fun to see everybody. This is Josh Wojak. He works at the Henry Ford Museum. There was Lucio and Corey and Davide, and everybody around you kind of recognize, or you do recognize, or you need to meet. And so at these talks, I'm just saying hi to everybody. It's fun to be. They don't know who I am from Adam. I don't look like an artist, but I'm there. As guys, Kim Hardy, who runs the CCS glass department, Alex Bernstein, Davide in the background. This in the middle is Kim Thomas, and we had a chance to chat. And then Heike Brachlau was in the center there. And to the left is her partner. I can't remember his name, but it'll come to me. And then Peter Bremers and Willie will open his eyes in the next photo. Great and the first time I ever met her. It's great to do that. These things. So there's my Corning shot of the whole floor. Get an idea of what the space looked like. I walked around the student show a little bit at the gas conference and noticed two cool, interesting things I want to share too. There was this artist doing Hebrew on glass, and I thought that was very interesting. And I wanted to research more about the artist, maybe something for NGG in the future, because it's obviously topical, relatable for me, for my Jewish faith, but I wanted to learn more, so I took some notes. And this was kind of an interesting piece too. It was almost looked like a Last of Us type fungi person, but it was large scale and it was worth the photo. It's like a note of the artist. And then bumping into people at gas. It was John Moran. I just met this young student who was walking around, and he was like amazed to be there because all his like heroes and the legends were all around him, and he was getting a chance to meet them in the community and teachers. It's so much fun to watch that from my perspective. I've seen it before, but it's so enjoyable because the energy is incredible with people like that around. This was down in Andrew Madvin's studio, which was on the 5th floor of the Russell Industrial Center. Pearl Dick was there, and a bunch of other artists were in the space, and demonstrations were going on. Beautiful facility. However, in the future, I guess it's going to get rid of this space entirely soon and move right across the street from Habitat. Corey and I took this selfie in the whole entire space just to have some documentation. Jeffrey Bowden had a piece in the show, so I want to take some photos of that. And then let me see what else I got. This is nothing important. Oh, this was our glass class that we took with Deanna Clayton. We did an employee only, well, employee basically glass class with Deanna, made her own pate verre vases. My wife is there, Deanna and Regina. It was a lot of fun to do. I'll post a picture of when it's done and what mine looked like. And we're going to start offering these little vessels in the gallery. And it was Sarah's painting her piece. You paint with sand in spray bottles. It was really fun. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's go through a bunch of these. And then we went out for Steve Lynn's 80th birthday. Celebrated with him. It was great to spend some time with Steve. We made a couple shots to get a good one. I posted this one up on Facebook. And we saw some friends there and we hung out that night. And let's see if I got anything else for you to look at. Rob doing all the hard work, setting up before the grand opening yesterday, putting up lights, moving pieces around. Thumbs up from Rob. Then we had our red carpet out yesterday. And let's see if we've got anything else on here. I think that might be everything, guys. So overall, thank you for joining me today for this Zoom. If you have any questions, please visit me. Come see this show. That's what you should do. Forget about calling with questions. Come and see the space. Come and see the experience. It is life-changing once you walk through the door of the building and explore the show and see what it's all about. And we look forward to seeing you guys at the next one. Yeah, like I said, come visit. It was a lot of fun. All right, guys, well, have a great weekend. Thank you for joining me. And like I said, I'll put the other videos out of the other spaces as soon as I have a chance in the newsletter. Be well.
Great job. Aaron,
you.
thank you. Tour de force.
Get some rest.
We'll definitely do that. Let's stop recording if I can find the button. There.